Rebecca, what else is going on out there in the Hollywood news?
Well, you sent me this article last night, so
Oh,
actually,
no,
yes,
I know this.
yes, we're doing it.
Okay.
This actually bumped our article for potentially next week, so I won't say what our article is going to be. But Ridley Scott might be directing a Bee Gees movie, so watch out, people.
People are like, what? I read this, and I laughed because I sent it over to you, and I thought you'd be like, oh, that's dumb. You're like, what? It's like, yes, Ridley Scott is staying alive.
I seriously thought this was an April Fool's prank. I had to check.
Funny. And, well, you see, it's from your buddy, right?
I've read the article. It's from Deadline. Justin Kroll wrote the article.
He's legit. He's legit.
They were releasing this as breaking news as of yesterday. That's right, people. The man who directed The Kingdom of Heaven, The Last Duel, Napoleon, Gladiator, The Bee Gees.
I think it's hilarious. It feels out of place.
It feels remarkably out of place until you start looking at some of the other players. Now, Ridley isn't a done deal yet, but John Logan, who wrote the screenplay for Gladiator, the Sweeney Todd Tim Burton adaptation, Hugo, The Aviator, which he won an Oscar for, and did some work on Spectre and Skyfall, wrote this script. He's a collaborator. He's a known commodity with Ridley Scott. So if Ridley jumps on board, it won't be too shocking.
Well, and my understanding, the remaining B of the Bee Gees, so I guess he's the B, is still wanting this movie made.
That's correct. And Paramount wants this out quick. Bob Marley's been a huge success. Bob Marley, One Love, they made $14 million one day. That's a Valentine's Day record.
That's huge. All right. I'm just laughing. It's still Ridley Scott and the Bee Gees are like, to me. It's just, no.
That's where I'm at. I'd be more shocked to see David Fincher in a Bee Gees movie.
I will find it interesting, right? I grew up more in well, no, that's not true. I was born in the 70s. So, yeah, but it's just kind of funny. I'm not like, ooh, I can't wait. But I think it'll be interesting. Their life story actually is quite interesting.
See, I know nothing about the Bee Gees. I just know their music and their outfits. That's it.
Wow. Boy, there's a lot to fill in those 2 hours, really. Because if they just go, hey, here we are. And then you're like, okay, that's all I know. Thank you very much. Got it.
I just don't want this to be the movie where disco died.
Oh, where disco goes to die. Oh, no. Do we have any questions from the box?
With so many musical biopics coming out about large artists, do you think this is going to pave the way for biopics for lesser-known artists?
I think there's already some biopics with lesser-known artists. There's the biopic they did with Ian Custis and Joy Division, Control. That was actually really good. I like that one. Mm-hmm. But I think right now the industry is going to try to figure out what's a big name we can sell to get interest before we kind of filter down to the little guys.
I like the genre, though, honestly. I think it's interesting because not everyone is going to see documentaries. I mean, I know we love documentaries, but not everybody does. I understood. And there is a Hollywood-esque feel to it, so I think it'll be a little bit more interesting and maybe names that people already know. They'll say, oh, I want, like me, right? I'm like over there going, oh, man, no, I want to go see. So obviously there's something about getting names that we know.
I think it's really tough, though, because every once in a while you get a documentary like, say, Searching for Sugar Man that just blows the pants off ever. Yeah, exactly. You're still talking about how awesome it is.
That is a great movie, yes.
And sometimes that can't beat the real thing. There are definitely a lot of criticisms with films like Bohemian Rhapsody, really taking liberty with this story. And I'm just kind of worried that might try to encourage bands to create this Hollywoodized version of their stories, when the reason we fall in love with them might not be because they're perfect.
I like the documentary element, though, to it, because the box nine, we had seen a Miles Davis one that was really good as well. And it was, I can't remember if it was around the time of Searching for Sugar Man or not. It seems like it was close to that. But the documentaries tell the story. And like you said, it's not always sanitized. It's just the person, you know, whether they have charisma or not, whether they say things, and you're kind of like, ooh, maybe they shouldn't have said that.
It's a celebration of the great discomfort of great rock and roll. You know, I think great rock and roll should hurt, and it should change your life, not necessarily for the better.
they're always interesting. However, I think if it allows more people to hear the music and have accessibility, I think it's worth doing.
One of the key strengths for me being excited about this project is actually the screenwriter. I've seen Hugo. I enjoy the little character moments that are found through it, as well as The Aviator. That didn't feel like a Hollywoodized movie to me. It felt very Hollywood and like, hey, here's some of the things we do. But it still felt rough and real. And I think if you get the right cast on board, if you get the right director, this is going to sing, pun intended.
Thanks for watching this Cocoon Cast news clip. This clip was taken from our weekly show that is released on the weekend.
If you like this news clip, please click that like button. It really helps us out. And if you want to know when we release our shows, click the subscribe button. And please share it with your friends. If you enjoyed this news clip, you might click the link to watch the full weekend show. Or click the other link to watch one of our deep dive movie reviews.
Thanks for watching, and remember, movies are better together.